Hi and welcome. We're talking today with the very gifted Alison Berman, who's actually going to become Alison Maiden. Is that right?
Correct. Yes.
So what brought that about?
Well, a couple of things actually, Scarlett. I'm a big believer in energy, as you know, and I believe that we have energy in our names, and it actually comes out through numerology. So each letter is worth a number, if you like. We can actually change the vibration of our life through changing our name. And that was the majority of the reason for me, was because my lifetime partner asked me if I would take his name, and I was thrilled with that. But then I worked it out, and it's a really good number. So that was a definite yes. So yeah, when we change our vibration of our name, we actually change the whole vibration of our life. So my name will come out to a number 8, which is all about success.
But sometimes they also say that it's quite karmic anyway, that you've kind of had that name, so it's not so like a new thing, it's kind of coming home as well.
That's right. And I think a lot of women who have been married and then divorced and moved forward no longer want the old name, because that represents the old life. So
yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
Very exciting times ahead then.
I think so.
I think so, to see what happens. Well, today Alison's going to be on the V-Shift, the event for the day, which is very exciting, and it's all about the health and wellbeing panel. Mm-hmm. And because I know you do spiritual guidance and you're a psychic as well, and you have an amazing story, one of the things I just wanted to share today with the people who are going to be there or thinking of coming, what you're going to be talking about. And one of the things, obviously, for being over 40, what it's like for women and their health, and how spirituality really impacts our health.
Oh, look, absolutely. I mean, everything comes down to the way we think. And, you know, if we actually have a look at the universal laws, for instance, and I think everybody's probably familiar now with The Secret. It came out quite a long time ago. Yes. But it has a wonderful basis to it, which is basically what you think is. And if you're constantly thinking about negatives and you're constantly being bombarded with the emotional drama that a lot of people like to set up around us, you get sick. Okay, so it's really important that absolutely I'm all for people going through mainstream medicine, but we need to also back it up with positive reinforcement, you know, changing the way you think. And loving yourself is absolutely number one, and it's a bit of my catch cry, I'm afraid. But if you're loving yourself enough to give yourself time, good food, nurturing, and basically love, you know, a lot of the illness will be easily cured, and it's been proven. People have proven it time and time again.
It's so interesting, because recently what happened for me, I was getting some pain up the front of my body, and I hadn't been eating very well. And I saw my naturopath, and they were just saying that really you need to cut out meat. I mean, for my reasons, I've become vegetarian and stopped gluten. But what was so interesting, it is the food, but it's more that I've actually had to take the time to nurture myself. Yes. So I'm in the kitchen cooking, which is amazing for my husband to see, because he usually cooks today. And so now that just the act of looking after me has changed so much. My mental state's better, I'm not as tired, but it's the nurturing.
It absolutely is. And the other thing too is that when we go out to eat, we don't know what mood the person is that's preparing our food. Yes. You know, their energy is going into our food. We're consuming that energy.
See, that is so... I was just thinking about that yesterday. It's so funny you should say that, because I was going, I actually like to eat at home.
Yeah.
Because I know I just feel better afterwards. That's so interesting. So it's conscious eating, and I think... And that's why probably when you go to health food shops or eating that food, you kind of feel a bit better, because there's a little bit of mindfulness around that.
I think so, yeah. And normally, of course, organic. I mean, you can't fill your body full of pesticides and expect it to respond well. I'm afraid it doesn't work. So, you know, and that comes again down to spending that little bit of extra money, shopping in the right places, you know, and taking the time. I mean, you do it for your children, you do it for the people that you love the most. And whilst you're off grabbing a snack from, you know, McDonald's or whatever, because you don't have time, it comes down to taking time out of your day to be good to yourself.
And it's very interesting. I thought, it's funny, I'm expecting success or growth in my business life. how can I expect that to work when I'm not nurturing myself?
That's correct.
And that was a little bit of a realisation. I went, you can't separate the two. It's almost like the nervous system is one thing. You can't separate it, and that became really clear.
No, and a lot of people in the modern age, we live on our nerves, and we're constantly burning up adrenaline, and a lot of people are suffering from adrenal fatigue. It's a big, big problem. And then instead of actually going back to the basics of nurturing, self-love, meditating, taking time for a bath, all of those things. When the kids are in bed, I had 4 kids, I understand what it's like, So I had 3 under 5 years old.
Exhausted thinking about it.
I'm still alive, so I hope.
You look amazing.
But when it came down to it, that when they're in bed, I might have been having a bath at 10 o'clock at night, but I still have my bath,
Yeah.
So at the end of it, take care of self, and self will take care of you.
Gorgeous. Well, so excited to have you on the panel, and also Alison's going to be talking on the day about her belief, what happens in the afterlife, which we're all very excited to hear about, and also your tips on health and wellbeing and spirituality. So fantastic. Thank you. Looking forward to having you there.
Thank you, Scarlett. I'm really looking forward to it too.
Awesome. We'll see you then.